Welcome back, this is part 10 from AngularDart tutorial. Please make sure to check the previous videos and let's get started. Make a new function and that will be our creating the course, so our post. And what we can do, we can return nothing, but I will return also the course here, and we just say create course. And that's also be a sync process. And then inside the create course, what we need to do, because we don't have any new actually we have more than data, so what I will do is take the string, also take the string other. So these are the required elements, or the required variables that we need for any course. And let's see what the rest. I think the price. So we have a price, title, author. So title, author, and then we have a double price. So these are the parameters we need to pass to create any course. We'll use also the try catch block. Now we see VS Code helps me finally, and then through simplify error with the E. Also inside the try, what we're going to do is say final response, and that's what will take. It will await for the client, and then we say just post. And here what we need to post is, first we'll take the base URL and we'll take our headers, just to make sure that headers will be passed. And the third argument, it will be the body. And here what we're going to do is just make JSON.encode is not implemented. So JSON.encode, and then we just bring our data here. So actually the data we need to pass is that first, so the UID, it will be created inside the post, inside the in-memory data, but we need to pass for the others, which is the title and the price. So what we need to do is just say title. So these are the required parameters that we need if we want to create a new course. And what we're going to do is return course from JSON, and that will be extracting the data here again, and we say response. So this will create the course, it will add the course to our courses, and then it will return the course, the created one. For deleting the course, which is our delete here, and that will be also future. I will also retrieve the course after deleted, so delete course. Again, this will be in a sync process. So for every time we create a new function, this will be in a sync process, and we will pass our UID. Again, we will use try catch here, and that will be throwing the new simplify error. And now what we're going to do is just make a new URL, so just in function and string, and that's what we'll say is bring our base, and then bring our UID. And what we're going to do is just await for the client to delete the URL with the headers. So now we don't actually return the actual data, because the delete here will return always the response. And what we can do is return, and actually what I'm going to do at this, I will make this one dynamic, or maybe response. And what we're going to do is, because this delete will return in response, so I'm just take this one and then return it. So that's for deleting the course. Now for updating the course will be all almost similar. So we do also list, actually not list, is course. Again, we pass our async function here. So for updating the course, we need to pass the course. So instead of passing the UID as a first argument and then passing the new data, we pass the whole new course, and that will be created via the component that will handle this updating. So we'll say try. Again, we say through and simplify error. And here what we're going to do is also make a new URL. So we'll just say new URL, and then we'll take our base and so take our UID. So we'll just say course.uid. Now we have our URL. We just make a new response, so final response, and that's what we'll do. It will take the client always and then say put instead of so we did here delete, put, and post, and also get. So what we going to put here is, the first one is the URL, so, and then the headers. Just don't forget the headers here, and also the body. So the body, it will be the same as the post, so we'll just say in JSON encode, and that will encode the course data. And what we're going to do is also retrieve the course from JSON, and that will be extracting the data, and that will be the response. So that's for that's for the whole implementation. So we have delete, update, and also we have the get single and get all for the courses. And let's try to implement these functions inside our surfaces, inside the component surfaces, and like the let's say the course surface, and we try to implement the whole data there. In order to bring our courses in the memory in live, and we use the client surface. First, what we're going to do, we will do some implementation inside every I mean, it's not implementation, just update for inside every element. First, so we see the var mock.json here. It was just with a map string dynamic, and now we have just an empty array. We need to initialize it as an empty array. Also, I put some URL here instead of it was empty. So the rest, it will be the same here. Nothing is changed. Also inside our model, if we go to course model, instead of using the list of string of tags, so that was a list of string, I use it as a dynamic, otherwise it will throw an error. And if we want to implement our course surface, so I'm going to do it with you guys. So bring our course surface here live. So we go to course surface, and what we're going to do is, first we will extend our client surface, and that's bring us to use the super constructor. So we go to let's say, do we have a constructor already? We don't have a constructor, so what we can do is just make course, and then this will bring us super constructor like this. Or maybe I will remove it, use the auto generated here, and then create constructor with a super, and that's what we'll do is we'll pass the client and then it will make super with the client. Again, you see that there is an error with get all and the delete course. That's because we have already in the client service we have already an method with the same name. So what I'm going to do is just comment this out, also comment the delete course. So if we go to now inside the courses component, now we see that there is an error with the get all. So get all is already exist, but the error says that we need to use await, because now get all is a future with a list that comes from the client service, not from, via the course service to the client service, and we will just use an async here, and that will wait for the get all. Now we start our terminal again, and then we see if we have the local host starting, and we go to courses, and we have our courses, which is 10 elements of 10 courses. And as you can see that the tags and also the whole element, so we have JavaScript, the complete guide is 0, the author, the lectures, the duration, and then the description. And we see also the formatted date by using the package of for formatting the date. We're still not implementing the delete here, so the delete was not gonna do anything. But for the view details, if we click here, then we go to view details. Again, this is not implemented here, but you can see that there the ID is the generated UUID, and we can see that it's really long, and then the generated UUID it will be by using the version 4, it will be a bit longer. So back to our courses now. Let's make some changes inside our courses component to make the functionality here working. And so alright, now we're going to implement the delete. So as you can see, normally if we click on delete, it should delete the element here. Actually, it deletes already the element. I checked this out, but the problem that when we do the delete here, so this will delete the course, and that's true, but it doesn't delete the course from our courses here, because this one is cached from the first time that ng-unit will be fired. So as we know, the ng-unit will be fired just once in the beginning, and that will be our courses. It will be filled with 10 elements, and now when we click delete, this is not gonna fire. So what we can do actually is bring in our courses. So we just say courses. By the way, I can use this here without throwing any error, so for any elements, and that's because I put some condition inside the formatting here. So if you go to analysis options, and I put some condition here, I said unnecessary this, ignore, so it will not show me a warning about this. So can I say this courses, and that will be so that actually will remove. So this I can remove the course and say remove where the element .uid is equal to my UID. That will remove the element from the cache. Also, what if the element that we selected is the same that we want to remove, because we have here the course selected. So in case of this, we just make a check if the selected is equal to let's say this courses dot first where. So here we do first where, and we just say element UID is equal to UID. So if this condition, then what we're going to do is make the selected is equal to no. So we just make some conditions. So I see this is not formatting. Yeah, this will be easier. So actually we just retrieve the courses from the courses, and then we make sure that the element that we selected if it's equal the one that we are selected, then we just make the selected is equal to null. Now let's try to reload and then make the delete, and the delete is throwing error here and then says there is no element. So let's see what's the problem with element. I think is the delete is because it was a JavaScript the first course. Now if we delete, and then it will delete well, but we still have body state, no element. And let's see why is this throwing. So we have seen the delete that throwing error, but it deletes the course very well, but it's throwing error body state, no element. And that's because we delete the element and then we remove it from the courses, and that's why it cannot find it. So what we can do actually is we'll check, we will do our check in the beginning. So I'm gonna simplify this condition. So first I will try to find the course, or maybe I will just say var course, and that will be the courses, and then find where, or maybe a first where, make this one cr, so and say cr.uid is equal to uid. This will bring our course, and we make the remove where this is gonna be the same. So the only thing that we need to change is to make the selected is equal to our course here. But even though the condition is still in the beginning, otherwise the selected is not found. And you can see that if we click delete now, we don't have this error, and we can delete every single course. So let's say delete, 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 and now we don't have any courses. Reload again, and now we have still our course. If we want to implement the view details inside the course, now if we click on here, we see that no selected course, and we see that the ID is already passed. So that's totally correct. The only thing that the problem is with the ID param is not found or unknown. So the problem that inside the course detail, that we use the function that inside the course surface, not inside the client surface. And what we need to do is just comment this out, and then inside the course surface we just say use get single, and that's it. So this will refresh, and this will should retrieve the element. So client error cause body state no element. So what we're going to do first, I will just say this course surface get single, and then go to the get single, and that should be the yeah, okay, I know the problem. The problem is that we need to reload inside the courses, and then when you click in view detail we get the course. So as you can see now, still we have the delete also inside the course detail. So go to the course detail, we have the delete. So the delete will check the selected UID, the location, and the back. So I think this one should delete and then back. That totally works. Now we have also another, as you can see that when we delete one of the courses, so let's try this out again. So we have just, so stay with me, that the TypeScript is the course that we selected, and then we do delete, we go back, and then we don't see the TypeScript. So this is the first one, and we see just our courses. So let's try with the learn SPMD with Flutter. Okay, this is is like content or maybe the Flutter pattern. So we do view detail, delete the course, it will be back, and then we don't have any we don't have that course. And I think that's it. So this will work perfect. That's it for this part. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.